think I'm live. All right. 1 minute, everybody. I think I got all this stuff working. All right. Okie doke. So, hey, Joe Solari, Author Nation. My first, actually, it's technically my second stream because the first one didn't work out right. And we'll see in a minute if my lovely wife comes in and says it's all working. But from what I see, this time I did some things that didn't happen last time. So, let's talk about why the hell I'm on a live stream today. First up, I was really inspired by Adam Beswick's presentation at SPS. He did a live TikTok sale um, that resulted in a couple £100 sales, and it really demonstrated to the community there. Oh, there's my wife. Let's see if this works. Right, see, we can see her comments. All right. Cool. All right. So I was in the middle of my little spiel about Adam's presentation. Suze was there. It was really cool. Not only that he showed how has been selling books for the last year or so. I mean, he had been at Author Nation last year and presented about TikTok Shop and how well it was doing for him. This year at SPS, he did it live at the event, and in the process had authors come out of the audience and introduce themselves live to his audience. I think it really helped people see that with a little bit of stepping outside of your comfort zone, you can go a lot further, right? So that's one of the things that I wanted to do today was to get myself out of my comfort zone and start playing around with this whole live selling thing and figuring out how it can fit into our community better for what we do at Reader Nation. What I'm using also as a little test on this thing is what we've got going with our current Kickstarter. Have you know anything about Author Nation? What we do is uh, we are. Let me explain Author Nation first. We're a group of authors that get together and we help each other get educated and learn the best practices of being an entrepreneur in the industry. The other thing we do at Reader Nation is we have a live event, and it's a live signing event. This year we have Andy Weir coming. He'll be signing. We have about 200 other authors. There's 150 authors on the wait list. But it's a live event in Las Vegas. It's pretty cool. People come there to buy books. We found that a young, eager audience is seeking to have an authentic relationship with authors, buy physical books. And this seems to me to be kind of a natural extension of this to um, uh, extend this in a way that we can do from the comfort of our own home. Um, so what I want to do is use this next 9 days as a way to teach myself, kind of be the guinea pig for everybody to figure out the tools, figure out how we can do this, see if we can actually start building an audience, and then help the community understand this really cool project that we've developed Um, Maybe sometimes we bite off more than we can chew, but the cool thing is that we've got a big community to help us break down this elephant into bite-sized chunks and chew it up. So let me go back in time and explain to you like what the whole genesis of this project was and why we decided to do such a crazy thing, produce a comic book, not produce a limited edition, special edition comic book, but then to um, try and get it put out before um, in less than a year's time. Uh, Tony Lee, who writes under the pen name Jack Gatlin, is a friend of the show. He's been coming for years. He speaks, great guy. His background originally was in comics. He wrote for Doctor Who and a bunch of other stuff. Really great guy, and has shown that he's been successful in multiple genres. He introduced me to a guy named Robert Napton, who is senior VP over at Legendary Comics. His wife is an author, a fiction author. Got to know him, really nice guy, and he wanted to help the community explore the genre of graphic novels. And if anybody's there that would, leave a comment if you would like to someday do a graphic novel. Anyhow, the first thing we did is we had him and Tony uh, do education pieces at Author Nation about how to write a comic, right? Because it's very different. It's not the kind of thing. Oh, we got another comment here. Let's work it in. Uh, but you have some really significant limitations in the sense of um, you've only got so many pages, only so many screen, younger adverts, fiction novels, that can be a killer, right? Well, how many words do I need for this? And it's like none, or it's a script, so it's not about words; it's about description. And when you get down to it, the actual text that will be in dialogue bubbles could be, under 1,000 words in most cases. So this becomes really hard for authors to get their head around. And then when you think about the idea of what's involved in the layout, right? What gets revealed and how your eyes work when you flip pages. So knowing what lands on what side of what page, all of that stuff becomes uh, something that you're going to need to think through. Anyhow, so we did that. And then we thought, well, if we have all these people that have learned how to do this stuff, why don't we actually put together a graphic novel? And this is not an easy task, and I'll tell you why. Is because if you want good artists, the kind that Marvel hires in DC in 2000 AD, and the guys that are doing original work, that the kind of stuff that when I saw as a kid, I was just like, oh my god, like this opened up this whole new visual world, this new way for me to think. Um, they deserve to get paid well, right? Um, So when you figure the cost per page and the number of pages and the number of authors that we've chosen to do, which is 12, creates a really big book, and it creates a lot of cost. But we knew that. We knew that going in. We knew that it was going to be something that we were going to need to do. And we knew also that for us to deliver that book physically to our reader event in November, we were going to have to select those stories in January, and then we were going to have to get those authors to get them scripted in February, March, and then we're going to need to start getting drawing going. So we've done that all before our June launch of our um, Kickstarter, which is open right now, and you can see the link here. If you go to that Genius link, Genius at or it's gni.us / reader live, you'll go right to the Kickstarter page. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to um, go over to that page so you can see it. So let me switch that scene. And you can see. Awesome. Thank you. Um, my calendar. Don't need to see that. Um, Here you can see that Kickstarter page. We're right now we're at $45,000 goal, and we are 9 days out for this campaign. We got 525 backers. We've got $31,000 closing in on 32 raised. So this thing's moving along really quick. Um, you may want to know a little bit more about this project. So before I get into the tiers, let me talk about what we did is we made this multi-genre. So we did not limit this just to science fiction or fantasy or um, action. We opened this thing up to anybody that writes genre fiction. The concept was is that you're a fiction writer, and then you would create a story, and then we would help you to get it scripted, and then you we would partner you with a different artist to help adapt that. And this is another really kind of hard thing for authors to grasp is that you kind of hand over the script and then the pages start coming back and you get to see another creator's take on what you inspired them with. And for some folks that can be a little hard, right? When they had a really clear vision. But I have to say, with the group that we've only had a few little hiccups around that, and most people have been really good about like working with the artists and figuring things out and helping them understand what was, important to story specifically. But we've got a great mix of authors. I have to be honest; it was super hard on the judges to pick because we had a ton of great stories and they resulted in us selecting 12 authors. So we have uh, Lenore Ashwood, Connie Brockway, J.N. Cheney, um, Pauline Cross, Morgan Drake, Annette Grantham, Eloisa James, Tony Lee, who writes under Jack Grantham, Gat- Gatlin, sorry. Donovan Shear, Leah Shear, no relation, and different spelled Shears, David Vergoots, and Andy Weir. Right. So we have some sci-fi, some romance, some thriller, some horror, some speculative fiction, some fantasy. Um, and then Robert brought in this amazing group of artists. And we've got folks from all over the world. So this is a truly international project. We've got some legends like John Ridgway and um, Sam Hart and Lee Townsend, um, other folks that maybe aren't as household names, but they've been drawing for Marvel and DC and Dark Horse and have been on big things like Star Wars and Judge Dredd. And so these folks are preeminent in their class. And when you see some of this artwork, I'm going to show you some stuff today. So just hold on and you're going to get excited. Um, you're going to see that we're basically using this project to show the entire comic book industry that their next best source for the best unique intellectual property is going to be indies, right? Um, that's how big this project is. It's not just about us having some fun and us getting to turn stories into comics. We are trying to create a artifact that's collectible for our fans and they love and they get joy from reading emotion because some of these stories are scary. We've got horror and we've got thriller, but that they get value out of the story. But from the industry perspective, we're really trying to change the industry. We're you know I've been around big companies long enough to understand that they're not going to understand this big idea until we do all the hard work and get all the risk out of it. And what do I mean by that? If you're a big corporation that owns a comic book company, you want sure things. So what are you going to have them do? You're going to have them regurgitate the same content. It's just like Hollywood, right? Or are you just going to make another Avengers? Well, of course, go make another Avengers. It's a certain thing. So that's what they do until they see somebody else do that heavy lift, and then they're like, "Oh, that's a great idea. That's our next good idea. We're going to hire that guy to do that work." And they may overpay to get access to that resource, that IP, but that's okay because it's going to be our IP. But the thing is, we have to do the work, right? We have to do that lift. So, from the author perspective that are involved in this project, we're doing that work, right? Um, so, what does that look like? Well, that means that we have to fund this project ourselves. It's viable. So, getting uh, the audience to understand what this product is and to get excited about it is our responsibility. That's part of what I'm going to be doing over these next 9 days on these calls is hopefully finding that audience and um, getting you guys to understand what we're doing. Um, I think what I'm going to do before I go down the page here is I want to just give you a feel for what this comic looks like. Um, in the sense of the pages. So you can see behind me in this video, we did a mock up. So, like I said earlier, we'd started this comic back in April, May. So, drawings are being done. So, most of these stories are um, uh, pretty far down the road. In fact, some of them we're starting to see the lettering proofs come back from the lettering artist and um, checking scripts and making sure things fit in. But you can see there's some really unique drawing styles in this. There a range of stories that are going to resonate with different folks. Um, I've been watching this thing for the last 5 months, and it's been a joy to open up my inbox. Honestly to go in there and see what these artists are seeing the reaction of the authors to how amazing this work is, and you know, it really is inspiring to me, given the kind of the stress that's involved in doing a project like this, because it has a lot of moving parts and a lot of logistics. And I just want to make a call out to Robert, who's been managing this project. He's just done an amazing job in helping everybody be their best on this project. Oh, we got somebody here, Feral Snacker. Wow, this looks amazing. Let's get your comment up here. Efren's on. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I know some like Efren. I believe you. I know you've submitted for some of our anthologies, and we're rolling out some of them right now. But uh, we've had just some amazing people contribute to these projects, and you know, actually, some of these pictures I'm showing you now are a little they've gone further. Like this, the one there with Donovan Shear. I know that I've, I just saw yesterday that they came through with the proofing on all the words coming into it. So it's really cool. But I digress. So let me kind of go back to where I was in our previous thing and walk you through um, the tiers and what we're doing here. So the top tier is well, I should say tier three is the hardcover special edition. So we haven't had this thing made, but to kind of give you some context for size and stuff, I've got some other comics. So um, this is a hardcover Dune. This is done by Legendary. This is something that Robert had edited. This is the size, the dimensions this way, but this is not as thick as our book because our book has uh, 12 stories at 20 pages. So just the stories are 240 pages. So it's actually going to be thicker than this book. But then we're kind of bringing in the special edition mojo from the author community, and we're going to be doing things with this cover that with UV spot printing and gilded edges and specialty end papers to make this thing a true collectible. Additionally, and it may be a little hard to see here, and these aren't final. These are just current mock-ups. It also will have a UV spot print slip cover to protect the other cover. So if you buy this tier, you're going to get that special edition, and you're also going to get the ebook because, frankly, some people are not going to want to even open this thing. They're going to get it and look at it and put it up on the shelf. The one that they're going to read all the stories in is in the ebook. um, so as we go through this here, let me bear with me as I learn all the controls on my new gizmos here and figure this thing out. Um, so kind of the entry level tier. And by the way, if you don't have $15 to spend on the ebook, you can donate $1. Anything that you donate is going to help us. We're going to make this project because we're committed to it. Um, the $45,000. I know this is for a lot of people. They're like, wow, that is an amazing Kickstarter when you get to that $30,000 right now is amazing, but like that doesn't even cover all the costs. I'm just being honest. Like, um, I think that's one of the hard parts for people that are like when they look to back this and they're like, why am I spending this kind of money? I mean, these are beautiful books, but it's the work that goes into those books. Okay, too bad. But thanks for telling me. I guess the broadcast ended in the community. I'll figure that one out. Um, the uh, the amazing thing about this book is, if you buy it, if you're a collector, it's not going to be made this way ever again, right? Um, it's not like we're just do this and then next week it's to be like, oh, this went really well, so we're going to do a reprinting of it. The way we're thinking about all of the Reader Nation products that are associated with the Reader Nation signing is we're going to do a unique anthology, whether it's this one or the upcoming romance or the next one after that, which is the thriller. We do that once, we make it. It's available at the live event for you to get it signed by the authors that are there. And then that moment disappears. It can't be recreated. Now, each of these authors will have this artwork afterwards. So the way we've, and I'm getting into the weeds of the contract, but I think it's important for you to understand how we're trying to support authors. We're buying the artwork. It's work for hire. When we recover all our costs, we're going to give that work to the author. So each one of these authors can then go do a reprint of their piece. But them all being combined together again won't happen, especially since we've only got a deal for Andy Weir to do a story for this book. And yeah, that's right. One of the authors on this is Andy Weir. He's doing his short story, um, Access, which is a really cool kind of superpower speculative fiction thing he wrote. And it's here for you guys to see the visual format adapted by Robert and Lee Townsend. So that base $15 is gets you the ebook version. And you can see we got 75 backers on that. The next thing is a soft cover version. Again, it's full thing, so it's a whopper. It's that full 11 by 7.5 size, and it's got the uh, 248 plus pages in it. It's a French fold cover. And you also get the ebook with that because, this is something that, like, with a lot of my special editions that I buy, I'll open them up, I'll look at them, if I've gotten them signed, I'll check out the signatures, but they tend to just kind of live on my shelf as a memento, and I read the the electronic version because I don't want to damage the pages or anything. And then we have this fourth tier, the top level, which is got the hardcover and the soft cover, and then uh, the digital version. So in that case, that's the one I backed. That's, I'm going to have this amazing special edition that I'm going to have all the authors sign. and then I'll keep that as this precious object in my collection. And then I'm going to have this other one that I'm going to read in bed and bend pages and treat like all those comic books that are over there. I've been a comic book reader for since I was in high school, and I've got some. I still have my comic book collection. I'm not the kind of guy that was really good about taking care of it because I loved reading them, so they're not in the best condition. But they all have great memories for me, and they entertain me. So that's what's behind this whole project for us is helping feed the community with more entertainers, more artists. If anybody's got any questions, make a comment and I'll try and answer them. If you've got any more questions about this, otherwise I'm going to kind of wrap some things up. We did have an early bird tier. It's closed now, so it's just the full price. Um, those are all gone. And you notice there's a limited amount of these. We're not just printing a bunch and having them around. Um, Again, that's on purpose. We want these things to be these things to, to be part of an experience in real life that only a few people are going to have these books that have been at have that experience to share, you know, with their friends and family. Like how cool it was to go get Andy Weir to sign this, and Jeff Cheney and Eloise James. Excuse me, getting over a little bit of a cold. But yeah, that's what's going on with this comic book. I'm going to be on tomorrow, probably the same time, to talk a little bit about some specific stories because, like I said, we got 12 stories and I got art. So I'm going to figure out. I think I'm going to start with some of the science fiction stuff and start going through that and help people understand these cool stories. But we'd love for you to back this thing. You can see the links here. It's a limited edition or a limited time. You know, people are like, why are you running this thing so short? It's like we've got three Kickstarters that we have to run over the summer. So we get this one wrapped up. We go into the romance anthology, and then we go into the thriller anthology. Those books are going to be amazing as well, and I'll do some lives on those. This project here is our most audacious, and we would love for you to support it and help us to show the industry who's in charge, and that this is what you, as a consumer and as a person who loves story, wants. Too often, big companies are going to say, "Well, you just need more Justice League and Godzilla," or that same old regurgitated stuff that they want to make. And we're saying, there are some amazing storytellers um, that should be in this format. And when partnered with equally talented artists, what they create is amazing. Whether it's a story about a ghost pirate ship or a woman making a magical tapestry, or mixed up clones, or people trying to hunt clones, or the portals, all these ideas that these authors and artists were inspired by with these just two simple word contradicting words of parallel truths, right? That was part of the fun that we had as the guys that put this project together, was like, well, let's give them a theme, right? So it's parallel. That's where we come up with the title of Parallel Truths in our first volume of our first graphic novel anthology for Reader Nation. So if you haven't already backed this project, please do. Everything helps us get to that goal. And most importantly, share this. If you're in the community, please celebrate that you've backed this campaign, and share it with folks. Um, and hopefully we'll see you with your copy in November at Reader Nation, getting it signed by one of your favorite authors. Um, and with that, I'm made it about a half hour. I'm going to sign off. It's been great doing this, and I'm having fun. Hopefully you had some fun watching this. Have a great day.